Hello everyone, I am Ashok. I will be presenting the deterministic 40-year lifetime platform that we call Hyper. In the recent decade, we have seen large number of IoT nodes being deployed in various application domains such as industrial automation, medical devices, smart infrastructures, etc. Many of these devices are battery operated, and surveys claim that battery operated devices last anywhere between several months to few years. Replacing batteries that are deployed in this large scale is difficult and are expensive. Energy harvesting is a promising alternative. However, pure energy harvesting devices are not widely deployed in these applications in large scale. This is because of limitations such as dynamism in energy supply makes the usage of these pure energy harvesting devices risky because the applications may have some reliability demands. Secondly, application development is difficult in energy harvesting devices because of the requirement of special programming techniques. So looking at the requirement of these IoT nodes that are required for large scale deployment, we see that devices should deliver the required lifetime very reliably. It should have the ability to adapt to varying energy demands because application demands can vary over the lifetime of the device. So this is the platform should be able to adapt autonomously based on varying demands. We should be able to eliminate the upfront modeling effort and also efficiently utilize the energy coming from the energy buffers. To this end, we propose Hyper. Hyper provides an extended lifetime using harvested energy. And when harvested energy is exhausted, it has a reliable fallback against energy failure provided by a primary battery. Hyper is able to adapt to varying energy demands and supply using a closed loop control algorithm, thereby eliminating the need for upfront modeling. Hyper is able to maximize performance by efficiently utilizing energy from the energy buffers. So Hyper, as we said, is a hybrid platform. So it operates on two modes. One is capacitor mode and the battery mode. In the capacitor mode, it actually stores harvested energy in a capacitor. And in this mode, it is utilizing energy provided by the capacitor. When harvested energy is exhausted, it actually falls back to the battery mode. In battery mode, it supports a conservative execution approach to sustain operation for the configured lifetime of the platform. In Hyper design, task rate is the fundamental unit that is adapted to match the changing demand. So the task rate is adapted to the energy demand by applying AMD MIAD approach, additive increase, multiplicative decrease, and multiplicative increase, additive decrease approach. This is very similar to the TCP's congestion control algorithm. And this approach is applied in both the modes, the capacitor mode and the battery mode. In capacitor mode, the capacitor voltage is monitored and the task rate is adapted to maintain the voltage within an optimal voltage range. This optimal voltage range is a configurable value, APIs for which will be provided by the Hyperstack and is configured by the user. In battery mode, the current draw is monitored and the task rate is adapted to maintain the current draw within a calculated threshold. Here, the threshold is calculated with the lifetime that is configured for the platform and the battery size that the platform is deployed with. Both of these are configurable values for APIs for which will be provided by Hyperstack. The task rate is adopted within a minimum and a maximum range that is again defined by the user, APIs for which will be provided by the Hyperstack too. In this plot, we can see that battery charge is plotted against lifetime, both of which are configured during the initial phases. Hyper calculates an optimal consumption rate threshold. In this case, it is represented by M1. Hyper adopts the task rate in such a way that the consumption rate of the platform is close to this calculated consumption rate threshold. This graph shows a phase T1 to T2 during which Hyper operates on harvested energy. During this phase, energy from battery is not utilized. And when harvested energy is exhausted, Hyper falls back to the battery mode and it continues operation on battery. However, if it actually follows the previously calculated optimal consumption rate, it actually wastes the energy that is conserved during the harvesting period. So what Hyper does is, At the end of the harvesting phase, when it actually falls back to battery, it calculates a new optimal consumption rate. Thereby, when it actually comes back to battery mode after exhausting harvested energy, it actually follows this new consumption rate threshold. Hence, energy that is conserved during the harvesting phase is efficiently utilized by Hyper. This diagram shows three different energy harvesting phases. After each phase, you can see that Hyper calculates the new optimal consumption rate threshold, which is represented by M2, M3, and M4. And by doing this, Hyper utilizes the energy from the energy buffer optimally, maximizing the performance of the platform. We have also seen that Hyper is always able to provide a reliable backup energy. Hence, there is no really need for any special programming techniques because energy is available to the application on demand all the time. For evaluation, we evaluated Hyper on three fronts. One is delivering lifetime guarantees, adapting to varying energy demands, and real-world evaluation. We will step through one by one. This is delivering lifetime guarantees. Here we see a graph that is task rate at the bottom part and current demand at the top part. Hyper was configured with three different year configurations, 10, 20, and 40 years. We can see that Hyper quickly adopts the task rate to actually bring down the current demand of the platform to the calculated optimal consumption rate for a given configuration. For example, for 10 years, it actually achieves 7 executions per hour at a current draw of 28.48 microamps, which provides an estimated 10.42 years lifetime. And for 20 years, it actually gives 3 executions per hour at a current draw of 14.13 microamps, which gives an estimated 21 years. And for 40 years, it actually gives 1 execution per hour at a current draw of 7.1 microamp, which provides an estimated 41.8 years. From this evaluation, we see that Hyper is always able to reliably guarantee the lifetime by adapting the task rate to keep the current demand of the platform within the calculated consumption rate for any given configuration. Now, moving on to the adaptation of Hyper for varying energy demands. So as we know, Hyper is a hybrid platform and there are two modes, battery mode and a capacitor mode. So we evaluated Hyper for in both the modes. Starting with the battery mode, here we see the task rate at the bottom of the graph and current demand at the top part. The experiment was started with a load of 18.6 milliamp, and as we can see, Hyper quickly adopts the task rate to bring down the current demand of the platform close to the calculated optimal consumption rate for this configuration. And it reaches 3 executions per hour at a current draw of 25.7 microamps for this load at point T1. And at point T2, we switch the load from 18.6 milliamp to 8.6 milliamp. After some time, Hyper realizes that the current draw of the platform has dropped. And then it gradually increases the task rate to bring the current draw of the platform close to the calculated optimal consumption rate for this calculation. And at point T3, it reaches 7 executions per hour at a current draw of 28.6 microamp. Now moving on to adaptation for varying energy demands in capacitor mode. Here we can see task rate at the bottom of the graph and capacitor voltage at the top part. And there are two gray lines that actually describe the configurable optimal voltage range of the capacitor. Here we can see that the experiment was started with 18.6 milliamp load, and Hyper quickly adopts the task rate to reach an average task rate of 59.19 executions per hour. All the time it actually keeps the capacitor voltage within the configured optimal voltage range. At point T2, the load was switched from 18.6 milliamp to 8.6 milliamp, which is marked by a sharp increase in the voltage, capacitor voltage. And Hyper quickly realizes this, increases the task rate and achieves an average task rate of 132.45 executions per hour, while keeping the capacitor voltage always between the configured optimal voltage range. Thus, we can see that Hyper is able to adapt to varying energy demand in both battery mode and the capacitor mode. Moving on to the real-world evaluation. For this, we actually deployed a Hyper prototype close to a windowsill where partial sunlight was available. In this graph, the grayed area shows the harvesting mode or the capacitor mode, and the non-grayed area shows the battery mode. To start with the top, the system voltage is shown. In this, you can see the two gray lines, that is the optimum voltage range of the capacitor. We can see that Hyper is always able to keep the voltage range within this optimum voltage range of the capacitor. Although it shoots sometimes, it quickly adapts the task rate to bring back the capacitor voltage within the optimum voltage range defined. When harvested energy is exhausted, it actually falls back to battery mode. It continues operation. Coming to the next plot, in this battery mode, it is always able to maintain the current demand of the platform close to the calculated ideal consumption rate, which in this case is 29.68 for this configuration. The next plot shows the task rate in executions per hour. We can see that Hyper is continuously adapting the task rate to actually match the current demand with the calculated ideal consumption rate and the capacitor voltage to the optimum voltage range that is configured. At the last, we can see that there is the optimum consumption rate. You can see that the optimum consumption rate is gradually increasing. This increase happens whenever Hyper is working from harvested energy. And this consumption rate actually reflects on this ideal OC that you see here in the second plot, the current demand plot. So this essentially means that Hyper effectively utilizes the energy buffer when it actually falls back to battery mode, thereby maximizing performance of the system. In conclusion, we have seen that Hyper is able to deliver predictable multi-decade lifetime. It is able to adapt to dynamic energy supply and demand using a closed-loop control algorithm, eliminating the need for any upfront modeling. It is able to maximize system performance by a better utilization of energy from the energy buffers. Thank you for listening to the presentation.